Yes, they've gone to First Bank as we speak to arrest the officials of the bank, the staff of the bank, the branch managers, the group L retails, as well as some of the operational staff. So they've unbooked them and they've taken them to the Osun State Police Command as we speak.
How many of them?
In numbers.
In numbers, then you know. Oh my God. Anybody that is there that
In numbers.
It's like, what is it?
Let's send them. What's the long sentence?
Sholawale?
Invitation.
Yeah, of course. We have not rested. We have not rested because they've been inviting everybody. Everybody in account. They've invited the accountant, invited everybody, even all the ministries. They've invited them for questioning, and after the questioning, and they're back. They don't, nothing found. They never found Osun State Government wanting, because when you look at the history of prudency and the transparency, we came first. We are very transparent, so that's it.
Any other question?
I think
This morning, we received a letter from our banker, forwarding a letter from the EFCC instructing the bank to freeze Osun State Government account. This action was taken without any court order. We are supposed to be in democracy, where the rule of law must always prevail. We will therefore not accept any situation where federal agencies trample on the constitutional right of subnational governments. This is a threat to democracy. If we all keep quiet and allow this illegality, very soon, whatever is left of our democracy will be fully eroded. All I ask is for the EFCC chairman to explain to the good people of Osun State and to the Nigerians in general why he froze Osun State Government account and show proof to support whatever reason he presents. These and all other illegalities being visited on Osun State is turning our democracy into a huge joke.
And I want to put in proper perspective that the re-election of Osun State Governor is not being funded from the meager allocation that we use to maintain this class of people, but rather the good work of Mr. Governor is why the Osun State people are resolute to ensure that Mr. Governor comes back victorious by August 15.
Our considered view is that Section 24 of the Money Laundering Prevention and Prohibition Act and Section 38 of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission Act 2004 do not confer on the EFCC the unilateral power to freeze, restrict, or interfere with the statutory account of a state government. The statutory account of Osun State contains public funds meant for governance, salaries, pension, healthcare, education, security, and other essential obligations to the people. Any restriction on such fund raises serious constitutional question, which, in our respectful view, should be determined by a court of.
This development raises legal, constitutional, political and institutional questions that go beyond the immediate dispute between the Osun State Government and the EFCC. At the heart of the matter is whether the EFCC acted within the limits of its legal powers. The EFCC maintains that it is empowered to investigate alleged financial crimes and, where necessary, obtain court orders to freeze accounts linked to suspected fraud or corruption. If, as President Bola Tinubu stated, the Commission obtained a valid court order before freezing the account, then the action may have initially followed legal procedures. However, the Osun State Government argues that the freezing of its statutory allocation account violated constitutional protections governing state finances and due process. This legal disagreement is now appropriately before the Federal High Court, which will determine whether the EFCC exceeded its statutory authority. Governor Ademola Adeleke's 2 billion naira lawsuit is significant because it is not merely challenging the freezing order, but also seeking damages for what the state describes as unlawful interference with its constitutional finances. The inclusion of the Attorney General and Accountant General of Osun State as co-plaintiffs underscores the government's position that the issue affects the state's constitutional autonomy rather than the governor personally. President Tinubu's intervention is perhaps the most politically sensitive aspect of the controversy. While he defended the independence of anti-corruption agencies, he simultaneously directed the EFCC to approve the court to vacate the freezing order, citing the timing of the action and its political implications. This creates a delicate balance. On one hand, the president attempted to prevent the perception that federal government was influencing the forthcoming Osun election. On the other hand, critics may question whether directing an independent agency to withdraw a court-backed action could itself be interpreted as executive interference. Supporters, however, may argue that the president acted to preserve public confidence and avoid actions that could undermine electoral credibility. The timing of the freezing has become central to the political debate. Governor Ademola Adeleke alleges that the action was intended to cripple its administration before the August 15 election by preventing the payment of workers and the implementation of government programs. The EFCC has not publicly framed its investigation in political terms, insisting instead that it is investigating the alleged diversion of 11 billion naira. Whether the timing was coincidental or politically motivated remains unproven, and no conclusive evidence has yet been presented publicly to support either claim. The allegation of 11 billion naira diversion also deserves careful scrutiny. At this stage, it remains an allegation. The Osun State Government has categorically denied any diversion of public funds, insisting that state resources were spent on infrastructure, workers' welfare, and development projects. Under the principle of fairness and the rule of law, allegations alone do not establish guilt. The EFCC bears the responsibility of presenting credible evidence in court if it intends to sustain its claims. Institutionally, the case may establish an important precedent regarding the extent to which federal anti-corruption agencies can interfere with constitutional protected state allocation accounts. The Federal High Court's eventual decision could clarify the relationship between anti-corruption enforcement and constitutional protections for state finances. Politically, the dispute is likely to fuel further debate between the ruling All Progressives Congress APC and the opposition People's Democratic Party PDP, particularly because it comes just days before a major election in Osun State. Both sides are expected to use the controversy to strengthen their political narratives. In conclusion, the controversy is no longer simply about a frozen bank account. It has evolved into a constitutional test of the limit of the EFCC's power, a political debate over the neutrality of federal institutions during elections, and a legal battle that may shape future anti-corruption investigations involving state governments. Until the court delivers its judgment, both the allegation of fund diversion and the claim of political prosecution remains competing assertion rather than established facts. Let me have your take. Drop them on the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to get our updates as they drop. Till next time, stay informed and stay connected.